Welcome, dear grade 12 students, to this video, which is about the reading of 6A, Part 1, Student Book, page 82 and page 83. There are three objectives for today's lesson. The first one is you're going to understand details in two texts in order to complete the fact file. You are going to identify which people correspond to the given actions. This is in exercise C. And you'll be able to guess the meanings of given words from contexts. This is in exercise E. Dear students, I would advise you to pause here for a minute, read these three questions, think of answers to them, and then follow the video for clarification. Are you ready now? Okay, what's the longest distance you have ever run or walked? Have you ever run or walked a long distance before? I mean, something like 5 kilometers or more. Have you done it? Okay, let's go to the second question. Have you ever taken part in a marathon in Qatar or elsewhere? I wonder if you are quite acquainted with the word marathon. Can you use your dictionary to look this word up or a search engine? Indeed, the athletes right here are called marathoners. They are running a marathon. Now, the question is, have you ever taken part in such a marathon before in Qatar or elsewhere? If yes, it's okay. If not, if you haven't taken part in a marathon before, you can start planning for the Ooredoo Doha Marathon. If you aren't ready for the full marathon, which is 42 kilometers, you can go for the half marathon, which is only 21 kilometers. Okay, have you prepared a list of qualities or characteristics which are needed for long distance races? If you haven't, please pause again and try to think of this question. What characteristics or qualities do you need to complete long distance races? Okay, this is to help you. Indeed, common qualities for marathoners are speed, strength, endurance, and endurance indeed means persistence or perseverance. Okay, they also need to have stamina, and stamina means something like physical and mental ability to sustain, to endure extended effort or activity. Please, dear student, you can prepare your copybook, okay, and start writing the new vocabulary. You can make a mini dictionary to help you with the vocabulary of the second term. Okay. Also, marathoners need to have strong will. The word will means determination or motivation. They should have a quality that is called fatigue resistance. Fatigue means exhaustion or tiredness. And they should have positive attitude. The word attitude means approach. Indeed, they have their own target to achieve, which is finishing the event or the marathon. So to have positive attitude means that your approach towards achieving your target should be very positive. Okay. You will find this title in your student book, page 82, which is Ultra Distance Events. For the ultra distance events, we mean any marathon which is longer than, which is beyond, which is above the full marathon. Any marathon which is more than 50 kilometers is referred to as ultra distance or ultra marathon, in other words. Sometimes they refer to it as ultra, simply. Okay. Dear student, we have already elaborated on the meaning of ultra marathon, right? And by the way, ultra marathon consists of the root marathon and the bound morpheme ultra. By the way, is ultra considered a suffix or a prefix? You're right, it's a prefix. And ultra as a prefix means beyond, means super or more than, okay? You will find 4 short texts on pages 82 and 83. These short texts are about 4 world famous marathons. They are Continental Divide, 6633 Ultra, and please pay attention to the pronunciation of this marathon because it's French, and in French it is pronounced Marathon des Sables, okay, which means Marathon of the Sand. Okay, it takes place in southern Morocco. We'll read about it. The 4th and last one is Jungle Ultra. Please, I invite you to pause here, read more about them, and then skim the 4 texts. Think of the type of these texts and where they can be found. Okay, and please continue. Dear student, text A is about Tariq Ahmed. He chose the longest off-pavement cycling race, which is Tour Divide. Please take 3 minutes to scan this text and fill in the fact file. This is called fact file. It's a file that should contain facts taken from the text. It is one of the most common types of questions on informational reading passages. In addition to that one, you experience it in the end of term 1 exam, which was about the timeline or dates and details. So please, I would like you to pause now and read the whole text from your student book and fill in this fact file. Give yourself 1 point for each correct answer right here, and then follow this video for the feedback. Are you ready? Tariq says, I want to find the ultimate challenge. Ultimate means the highest, the most extreme challenge. Why? To push myself to the limit. Please add the new expressions to the dictionary, the mini dictionary in your copybook. Okay? To push myself to the limit means to do the very best of my ability. Why? Because he's a big fan of mountain biking. Okay? I choose the Tour Divide. What is the Tour Divide? It's the world's longest off-pavement cycling race. What is he talking about right here? Is he talking about distance, location, or race type? Exactly, he is talking about the race type. Okay, 5 months of training left me in no doubt about how tough, how hard the event would be. But I convinced myself, I persuaded myself, I was ready for it, and that I had what it took. Write down the new expressions, dear student. I had what it took means I had the necessary, or necessary as in American English, the necessary qualities. If you have good navigational skills means direction finding skills. Concerning navigational and navigation and navigators, on board planes and ships in general, there should be a navigator. This person is responsible for finding direction to the plane or the ship and dealing with meteorological equipment and communication, etc. Okay. and are able to get by. To get by means to manage to live with the minimum of positions, minimum of the things I'm carrying. Then you should attempt this extreme test of endurance. We have encountered the word extreme before. Endurance means stamina or toleration. Okay, now I have a question. How did Tariq prepare for the race? Can you think of an answer? Exactly, by 5 months of training. Very good. Let's continue. Dear student, have you finished the rest of the fact file right here? If you haven't, please do it right now. Okay, done. Let's take this feedback. The route means the way or the direction, follows the continental divide. This is the continental divide. It starts from Canada through the United States down to the Mexican borders, and it covers the length of Rocky Mountains, which is a distance of 4,418 kilometers. But this includes over 60,000 meters of mountain, which is the equivalent of reaching the summit, the top of Mount Everest from sea level 7 times. Please use your dictionary to look this word up in it. You will need the answer for exercise E. Okay, finished? Let's continue. I really enjoyed the experience. The question is, why did Tariq enjoy this experience? Because as there are no prizes for finishing, there was no pressure. So the answer is because there was no pressure. It was a stress-free experience. How much time did it take? Okay, it takes the average rider more than 2 weeks to complete the race. He is talking now about the location or distance, okay, or the approximate completion time. Pay attention. Now it takes the average rider more than 2 weeks to complete the race, but it took me over 3. I probably could have finished earlier, but the point is, why didn't he finish earlier? Because he wanted to travel at his own pace, at his own speed. Why did he choose to do this? Because he wanted to enjoy the beautiful surroundings. Now, how about the location? Yes, it's the continental divide. You are right. How about the distance? It's very clear. And the approximate completion time, more than 2 weeks. You can take 4 points out of 4. Great. Now, dear students, with all information about text A clear and fresh in your memory, let's answer the relevant questions of exercises C and E. As for exercise C, please read text A again and choose the questions that apply to Tariq. Some of these questions are relevant to Tariq. Please choose them. And in addition, match the highlighted word equivalent with its meaning. What is the meaning of the word equivalent? Choose one of these answers. Okay, pause, take 2 minutes, and once you have finished, please continue for the feedback. You will take 3 points for 3 correct answers here. Done? Okay. Question number 3 applies to Tariq, or is relevant to Tariq because he mentions his preparation for the race. You still remember the 5 months of training as preparation for the race, right? And the last one is number 7, because Tariq mentions that the race was a stress-free experience, right? How about the meaning of the word equivalent? Have you looked it up? Exactly, it's C. Equivalent means that something has the same value, the same amount, or the same meaning, etc., as something else. Very good. You can take 3 points right here. Okay, we are going to do the same with text B. Please continue. Now, my dear students, I think that the task here has become very simple. You are going to read this text and fill in the blanks of the fact file in your student book, right? So pause again and take 3 minutes to complete your task. Okay, let's take this feedback about the type of the race. This foot race. Directly, this is the race type. How about the location? Have you got it? He says this foot race is described as one of the toughest, coldest, and windiest extreme ultra marathons on the planet. And this is no exaggeration. Okay, I'm sure you are going to look this word up using your dictionary. Okay, the race follows the Arctic Circle. So this is the location, right? And usually lasts from 4 to 9 days. How about this bit of information? Is it the distance or approximate completion time? Exactly, it's the approximate completion time. Now you can take 3 points out of 4. How about the distance? I think that the distance is very clear right here. But concerning the distance, there are 2 alternatives. 2 versions. The 610 kilometer race, which is only for the toughest endurance racers, or the 190 kilometer race. I perhaps over optimistically. When you are optimistic, you are hopeful. Optimistically means hopefully. Over optimistically means that you are more than hopeful. Okay. I choose the first, so he chose the first one, right? Participants, when you participate in a race, you are a participant, and this is the plural. They are the ultra marathoners, are obliged. Obliged to means they are required. Please add the new vocabulary or expressions to your mini dictionary in the copybook. Okay, so they are required to carry their provisions. The food and all necessities are called provisions on a sled. This is called a sled or a sledge. S-L-A-D-G-E. And their only chance to rest or sleep is at one of the checkpoints, which are 37 to 122 kilometers apart. Initially, it means at first, I struggled. I fought a lot. Why? Because my sled was a bit too heavy. Pay attention to this bit of information, okay? We'll need it. But I persevered. I went on despite difficulty. And I gradually got the hang of it. When you get the hang of something, you learn how to manage it. Okay, please add it to your mini dictionary. Okay, let's continue. My dear students, can I test your memory? Would you just read this question and answer it? Did the sled give Steve a hard time, and why? You remember? Exactly. The sled gave Steve a hard time because it was, right, it was a bit too heavy. You have a good memory, by the way. Now, please pause, read this question and read this paragraph and try to find an answer to the question. Okay, finished? Why didn't Steve consider his attempt a failure? Okay, let's take an answer from here. He says, unfortunately, I lasted only 6 days and was unable to finish the whole 610 kilometers. At first, I was a little disappointed or frustrated and thought I ought to have tried to remain in the race for longer, but I gave it my best shot. To give something your best shot means that you did your best and then you left. Add it to your mini dictionary, please. And you can do more than that. I didn't consider it failing. This is the answer, because there is only a 20% chance of completion anyway. So only 20% of the participants can complete this race. It must, however, be an incredible feeling to achieve such a feat, such an achievement. I plan to train harder and take part in next year's event. Okay, very good. Dear students, in the same way, choose the questions that apply to text B from here and choose the meaning of the word exaggeration. Okay, finished. You are right. Question number 2, because he mentioned different versions, different alternatives, if you still remember. And question number 4, right, found comfort in the fact that few people complete the race. We've just mentioned that only 20% of the participants complete the race. How about the last one, which is number 8? He explains how his equipment gave him a hard time. We've just mentioned that the sled gave him a hard time. And the meaning of the word exaggeration is number E, which is a description that presents something as being more or greater in some way than the reality, such as being more difficult, more tiring, etc. Excellent work. Kindly, dear students, prepare text C and D and watch next video for reading part 2. Thank you so much for watching this video, which will be available on Microsoft Teams.